Guys, today I'm making this delicious purple risotto. Risotto is required to be heavy with butter and cheese, but this has radicchio and parsley, and that gives this light, airy, fairy feather thing to it. Let me show you how to make it. It's really easy. I mean, one needs a hot liquid when making a risotto, and of course you could get stock in a box, but it's so simple to just take onions, celery, carrot, boil them in water, and make your own broth. There's no reason not to do it. Especially with some vegetables that are maybe towards the end of their life that wouldn't be good in another dish. This is a great way to, put them to use. Okay, so that's basically the gist there. We have garlic, onions, we have celery. It's very aromatic. Carrots. And the quantities don't really matter. You just need a lot of water. I say 1/3 cup of arborio or cannaroli per person. All the starch stays there. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it becomes so much. 1/3 cup is plenty. So just put the rice in the pan with nothing. Toast it like you're toasting pinoli nuts, pine nuts. And so basically we're waking the rice up. And it's as simple as taking warm broth. We want it to be warm because we don't want the pan temperature to come down. And putting it in to the rice. So the amount of liquid that you want should be just enough to cover the rice, yeah? And you want to see some visual activity, absolutely. Not too much, but some. And it's going to be a combination of evaporation and absorption in, and we're going to keep adding. Some radicchio. It's also very important to have some red wine so it dyes the rice a beautiful purple color. And then the star of the show is this scamorza. It's a smoked, dried mozzarella. So there's an old wives' tale that you have to stir risotto all the time, and it's not true. You do have to keep your eye on it, and you do have to keep the liquid level high. I alternate. Broth, red wine. So our level's a little low. Let's get some red wine in there. Here comes some radicchio. You know, a nice simmer like this is beautiful. You don't want a rolling boil because the argument is that maybe the grains of rice will break apart. They're not delicate, but they're not super durable either. Just keep it moving and move the pieces around. So here's our scamorza, our dried smoked mozzarella. Maybe a little bit hard to find, but you could substitute it for regular mozzarella if you'd like, or maybe something like a taleggio, which is going to give you the same kind of semi-soft meltability. The rice is cooked. Here comes the cheese bits, which will melt towards the end. And it is really important to have the cheese in there because radicchio is bitter. So they really do play this nice reverse accordion ensemble. 2 tablespoons of cool butter at the end. And just let the residual heat happen here. Mix it through. Beautiful purple color. You can immediately see the butter fat creating this nice texture. And in general, when you're cooking risotto, like, make it wetter than you think. It shouldn't clump on the plate. It should flatten out completely. And that's sort of the indicator of the right consistency. All right, so you definitely want to serve it on a flat plate because the risotto should be soupy. It's a hard consistency to get right. I like to lean on the side of soupier because it only tightens up. It never gets soupier. So dried risotto is the devil. Soupy risotto is quite good, and that's nice. You see how it falls out on the plate like that? That's what you want. That's what the professore ordered. And then sort of the test is, does it flatten? And the answer is, yes, it does. Deep, dark purple color. Give it a little bit of green. Looks beautiful. And then, if you hit it with some parmigiano reggiano right on top, and that'll melt beautifully on the plate. So here's the purple professor's risotto, and the main takeaway here is that the bitter radicchio totally pull your taste buds in the opposite direction of the heaviness of the starchy rice and butter that risotto requires. This is better for the modern palate, and you should make it.